Thank you, President. My question is to the Minister for Finance, Senator Gallagher, and will reference Budget Paper 4, Agency Resourcing, page 186, Department Expenses table. The government has been conducting a program of reducing spending on external providers, contractors, consultants, and hiring employees directly instead to perform those duties, and One Nation supports that. These conversions from external providers to employees save taxpayers money, being the difference between paying a public servant to do that work and paying a consultant, partly balanced out by the increased cost of office expenses, travel and so on. Minister, how much has this program saved in 2023-24, and how much will it save over forward estimates, noting that I understand the budget papers have another 2,502 conversions projected?
Thank you, Senator Roberts. Minister Gallagher.
Thank you, and thank you for asking me a question about Budget Paper 4. That is the budget paper that Finance has responsibility for, and we have worked hard to make conversions, as you say, and to reinvest and put in increased capability into the public service. What we did find out from the audit of employment was that the real size of the APS when we came to government was much larger than had been publicly reported. So we are taking steps to rebalance it and to put public servants into jobs that Labor hire had done. In the last budget, I think the savings were in the order of $800 million in terms of the conversions that were being made. In this budget, we're finding a further $1 billion in reductions to agencies' departmental expenses because of the investments we're making in the public service. Obviously, we are making additional investments in the public service for additional responsibilities that they have. But what we're doing is painting a very honest picture of the price of delivering improved services. And those opposite, I know, are going to do what they always do and say they want a smaller public service, but they should then explain why veterans, 41,000 veterans who didn't have their claims allocated, now have their claims allocated and now are getting access to pensions, is a direct result of our investment in the Australian Federal Public Service. We weren't seeing those results, whether it be in immigration, DFAT, Services Australia or Veterans Affairs, and we see that on the payment side now because veterans are getting access, because they're being dealt with, because they've got public servants dealing with their claims, they are getting access to the money that they deserve. So it's a piece of ongoing work. Senator Roberts, if there's further information I can provide you, I will, but we are finding savings from the program at the same time that we're making additional investments.
Thank you, Minister. Senator Roberts, first supplementary.
Thank you. The table shows many departments costing less to run in 2027-28 than they do today, despite ongoing inflation in rents, electricity and expenses far exceeding the saving from operations. Department of Infrastructure down from $554 million this budget to $452 million in 27-28. Health and aged care, $1.6 billion down to $1.1 billion. Services Australia, $5.7 billion down to $4.5 billion. Minister, please explain from where these huge claimed projected savings will come.
Thank you, Senator Roberts. Minister Gallagher.
Okay, so we are, in terms of the savings that we've applied through this budget, it's an extra $1 billion onto the $3 billion that we had built into the budget, so that gives you a total of $4 billion. There are additional savings that come through the conversions of expensive labour hire into permanent public service work, and so that is part of it. I think it's probably a question we can go through at estimates as well, because I don't have that page in front of me. But there are savings, and we take that money from departments. They don't get that funding, so that is a saving that is realised at the time that that budget decision is taken.
Thank you, Minister. Senator Roberts, second supplementary.
Thank you. The $155 billion provided in the budget as departmental expenses in 2024-25 is projected to grow to $169 billion in 27-28. Almost entirely from increases in defence and NDIS. How could your forward projections show flat or reduced costs for, in effect, the entire government except NDIS and defence, when the budget puts inflation over that period at 13%? Does your budget dramatically understate projected deficits?
Thank you, Senator Roberts. Minister Gallagher.
No. The budget papers as they're released, and Budget Paper 1, which goes to providing the UCB, is based on all of the information that runs through all of the budget books, and that would include departmental expenses. There is extra investment going into defence and into NDIS, as you would expect. They are two of the 5 fastest growing areas of the budget. The NDIS is the second. I think defence would be in the third, I think, or third or fourth, and so they would be seeing increases. But the budget UCB takes into account all of those decisions. It may be reported slightly differently in different tables based on different accounting standards, but the UCB is an honest reflection of the state of the Commonwealth finances.